everyone, and welcome back to the Scottish Disney Cars Collector YouTube channel. And today we are finally going to be taking a look at the Case X highlights, the 3 new releases, quote unquote, in that case being the Thailand variant of Eugene Carbureski, I keep getting these mixed up, Rally Race Cruise Ramirez, and Race and Rescue Luigi and Guido. So this case has pretty much came out right after Case W here in the UK. Doesn't help that Case W was delayed, and barely any of it hit Smith stores, so making it, as I thought it was going to be the case, quite rare and sought after. From what I've noticed, basically any cases that get delayed here in the UK now, they will still go into Smiths, but very limited quantity, because Smiths have been hit off a Case W like that. Not Case W, Case X, sorry. I've been hitting it off like that. They've gotten in so much of Case X, it's unbelievable. However, this release right here keeps selling it fast. Now, out of all these, I got Eugene Carbureski first. We've already reviewed him, so I'm not really going to go too much in depth with him today because we've already done the review. But yeah, it's just here just because he is part of these highlights in a sense. However, Luigi and Guido, in particular, Rally Race Cruise Ramirez not so much, but these two have been, again, just like Red, very hard to find. Now, we started getting Case X in about 2 weeks ago. It was probably just after, or no, it was probably before I'd done the Case W highlights. And they got that case in, and I went down that day because they got more in Case W, of which I pretty much took all the highlights from to sell on and make some money for a film con in Braehead just over the weekend there, just gone. And basically I planned out to, buy these when I could. And what happened is I went down that day, I got the Case W highlights again, and Case X, you will see this in the footage in the future, the hunt in the future, but there was no Race and Rescue stuff at all. They had everything else, which was high impact, the lighter variant. Eugene Carbureski was there, Drift Party Mater, and Jonathan Gearson, Ryan Shields. They were all there apart from, the two that people really want. And from what I have seen, every single time these keep coming into Smiths and stock on their website, they keep selling out just so fast. Now, I have only just been able to acquire one to keep on card on Thursday just gone, and by that point, they've already been out for 2 weeks, and I've managed to get them the week before. So I've had these two for over a week now. As me just finally getting around to reviewing them. You're probably wondering what the other ones are in the back. That is my partner's. That's her set to open eventually, which I had to go all the way out to Clydebank to get, because it reached a point with these where they just kept selling out, and I kept missing them on the website, that I went, you know what, whenever these next become near available, I'm just going to go and click and collect it and buy it. And Clydebank had one, and I'm glad I went up there because I found another red. So it paid off in the end. However, the middle ones that you see are my ones to keep on card, which I've only just acquired Thursday just gone, because on the Thursday I checked Smith's website again that morning and it said 4 in stock. 4 in stock, amazingly. By the time before I got down there, one had sold, so there was 3 left. I went in, I found one sitting on the pegs in the cars area. Wasn't even on the pegs, which is where I found my ones at first, by the way. Mine was just sitting on the pegs, and I just snatched it up straight away when I walked in there. But the second time, it was actually hiding on the bottom row underneath the pegs with a bunch of other cars. They're like, this is the thing, if you're not searching for them, they're quite hard to find because they're such small vehicles, so they don't really have a lot of weight to them. And then about 5 minutes later, some employee came down the aisle with his click and collect gun. He was going through the pegs, and I was like, oh, I know what he's fucking looking for. It's them two. And yeah, I was right. And that whoever click and collected that also got Rally Race Cruise Ramirez. So I basically, because I was going to get him to bring down the boxes anyway, when they were up there getting, the two that this person has reserved, I basically went, oh, I'm after the stuff there as well. And they were like, oh, Luigi and Guido and Cruz Ramirez. And I just went, oh, yeah, I wasn't after her. I was only after these two again. To sell on and keep on card. However, my plans sort of changed with that now. So got them to bring them down, and I thankfully managed to, at least get 2 in store that day. And now yesterday, I checked Smith's website in the morning because I've been waking up a lot earlier at the moment, just because I had to be up early for FilmCon just gone over the weekend. I checked Smith's website yesterday morning and 5 in stock for Luigi and Guido, because I checked Ryan Shields and Eugene Carbureski in High Impact first, and it said 11 in stock each. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Of which, by the way, I can easily see them becoming peg warmers, which is not a good thing, especially for Eugene and High Impact. With Ryan, I think it was inevitable because they're in, 2 back-to-back cases, and he's in the last case of the year, so he's not going to be hurt. He's going to become a peg warmer, I bet you. However, there was 5 in stock, and my plan was to not go out yesterday. So basically, what I aimed to do was like, right, well, I'm not going to go out. What I will do is I will click and collect 2 of them. You're probably like, why 2? You've already got 3 sets here. Well, actually, I've acquired 4 sets so far in a sense. Well, what I want to do is, because my plan was to get a couple to sell on, but I don't really need to make the profit for FilmCon anymore, because now that's been. Because the thing is that I think the hype for Luigi and Guido are kind of gone now, because on Vinted, which is where I'm mostly checking to like sell this stuff on, and that a lot of them came up for £15 and no one's buying them. The ones at like £12 though, or cheaper, will sell because they're cheaper, but there's still a lot up at like, cheap prices and that. And I was just, when I seen that, I was like, do you know what? I don't think I'm not gonna bother trying to sell any on, because I'll just be stuck with a bunch of them. So what I also wanted to do was, which I forgot about, was get a bunch of this little guy, Guido with the fireman hat, and you can see another one there on top of red. That's my second one. So after I've recorded this video, I'm going to deal with some rubbish, and then I am going to head out basically. I've got some parcels to drop off in that. I've also got a parcel with a cars item in it to collect, which won't be in a Giga haul. Well, it will be in a Giga haul, just not me. I'm just not going to record opening it, basically. Smiths, I've reserved 2 of these. I collected them yesterday. I'm going to go and get them today. And I've been checking the website since then. I went down to 3 after I bought my 2. Then it went down to 2, and I was like, okay, it's still here, surprisingly. Now it's gone down to 1. I checked as of this afternoon, and that is still the case. There is still 1 in stock, surprisingly, but I know for a fact none of these will be out on the pegs at the moment, which is probably why they've been easier to acquire, because when people are going to shops looking for these, the average person anyway, they're not going to know about cases sitting high above, because this is the thing, like, if these don't sell, like, I can guess before I go in the shop, okay, they're sitting high above, or people have clicked and collected them, of which the Smiths employee has, of course, gone down that aisle, pulled it from the pegs, and then they look up, and then, oh, there's boxes, and they grab them there. Like, sometimes these things are easier to acquire than you think, because if you just click and collect them, they'll need to find them somewhere in the shop, or you just tell them to bring the case down, which I think a lot of people miss out on, and they're just looking for the pegs for absolutely nothing, and just don't realise they're sitting high above. So that one left in stock, probably sitting above, waiting for someone else to click and collect that. I will not be surprised if it's already been done by the time I finish recording this video, or by the time I go down today, But this is what I mean. 5 of them were finally in stock. That is the most I've seen on the website in that moment of checking, right? Because they seem to keep stocking these in the morning. That's the most I've seen, right? And now, within the next day, they're already pretty much nearly all gone. So, when Docket said that this will easily become a $30 a year car or single in a year's time, yeah, I think that's easily going to happen. Going off the leaks and that I've been getting recently, I think Race and Rescue is continuing into 2026, but it might not go beyond the mini racers or colour changers. We don't know this yet because Sarge has been leaked for a colour changer. So, who knows for the diecast line? There's still quite a few characters they need to do. There's still, I think, Chase Racelet, Bobby Swift. I'm getting Brick Yardley mixed up with Chase Racelet. No, but Brick Yardley, Bobby Swift, and Bubba Wheelhouse, they're all in the book. So rally race versions of them, I wonder. But yeah, basically the point here being, there might be a small chance these get re-released next year, but I'm not holding out my breath. In all honesty, that's why I've made sure I've got one to keep on card, because I do really want these on the packaging. Because I mean, you can just see them in the background. I think they look absolutely stunning. Anyway, let's finally get into this review. I'm so sorry to anyone who tuned out after that 10-minute introduction, but for anyone who stuck around for it, thank you. Right, Case X highlights. So the main three are here. No package Cruz Ramirez. Sorry, I'm not interested in getting one to keep on card. So we've already been over Eugene, obviously in his own review, but yeah, really nice Talon variant. I do like him a lot. Really good color upgrade. Great eyeliner of the expression. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I've already got a few of this guy. That one's not a keep on card. That was to sell, but it's not sold yet. So, and I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think I'll sell it now, probably, because a lot of them just came up. But oh well. But yeah, he is nice. But the main reason why you will have clicked on this video is, of course, for the new Race and Rescue cars, being Cruz Ramirez and Luigi and Guido. It is nice how when you look at this, you still technically do get 3 new releases in a case for this, because that's what I was like when, you know, the case contents for this were out and about. You know, it was that whole thing of like, oh, well, you've got to re-release a Chick in McQueen, but here's your new ones. It's like, well, we've on average had about 3 per case. This time we've got 2 Race and Rescue singles. However, Luigi and Guido always get packaged together, so you can't. It is 3 cars in a sense. So, you know, technically 4. Actually, when you look at it like that, really nice. So yeah, these are 3 new ones. So I'm going to go over Cruz first, because I really do not have a lot to say about this one, because in all honesty, it is my least favourite rally race car. I'm not joking. She's alright. I don't know, I don't really care for the design on this one. I think it's really lacking for what it could have been, because I'm already going to get straight into comparisons, but taking a look at, you know, see how much better this was, at least in my opinion. Taking a look at GRC Cruz, I mean, yeah, they are kind of similar. They have changed the expressions. Her eyes are more lowered down than here. Mouths are actually painted differently. And obviously the decals is the main big difference. I just don't get how we've gone from Cruz being one of the best GRC releases in my opinion to one of the worst. Because I really love this GRC version. I love the black and the blue. It just really sets off the yellow. Whereas this, it's just kind of a random mishmash of colours. Like, obviously she'll be in our classic yellow, but I don't like the dark blue. I don't like the grey, and I don't really like the red, and red's my favourite colour. I just don't think it complements Cruz Ramirez really that well. If they made her red like them, then maybe she might have been really good, but just to me, she could have been a lot better, because I think the problem is here, and my partner pointed this out, right? Dynaco is Cruz's sponsor now, right? What did they get right on the GRC version? That blue. That light blue, not quite Dynaco blue, but you know what I'm getting at with, you know, that statement. It's the light blue that sets her off and makes it feel like Dynaco. This does not scream Dynaco to me. This just looks like a factory custom to me. And I just don't think it's really well, I just don't think it's executed really well. I know this is not really a fault of Mattel, it'll be the design in the book. Whoever sketched her up, I suppose, but for now, I'm just really, like, I just don't care for this version of her. And also, the blue on this one, you know, I think it's just, if they not copied it, but, you know, just took 1 or 2 elements from this, it could have been a much better die-cast in my opinion. One upgrade, though, I will give them this, is obviously on the GRC Cruz, the dinosaur hump just cut off, which was pretty awful. Thankfully, on the rally race one, that's full and complete. So I will give him that. That's one upgrade over GRC, but for now, I prefer GRC. Oh, and the mixed wheels. Yeah, they're alright. And I wish all this grey was fucking silver. Yeah, that's it for Cruise. I don't have a lot to say. I'm not going to go over the decals and that. You will have seen Docket's review by now. But if I have to give her one thing, I do quite like the Rally Race 200 logo one, and there's a few variations of this, but honestly, I never thought that Jackson Storm would be a much better release to me, just in my opinion, because he's gone from being, like, you look at him on his own, he's alright, least favourite. You put Cruise up against him, to me there's no competition, he's still the better car. To be honest, the more the time's going on, I actually do kind of like this guy. I love the black and the blue and the silver and red. I think it's a much better, set of colours than this. But also, I love the silver Rally Race 200. It looks so clean. It suits Jackson a lot, I think. But yeah, we finally got the two of them together. And just for the sake of it, here's check. These are current free Rally Race cars that we have in the UK anyway. Obviously, what do we have so far? We've got all these apart from... Is McQueen just the only one currently available? Yeah. The only one I'm missing is McQueen, but that's because we don't get 2-packs here in the UK, but it's fine. Him and Checker back in the last 2-packs case of the year, so I'm not really panicking about getting them. But for me, so far, for these rally racers, my favourite is Check. I just love the green and the blue and grey. It just looks so good, I think. Why he's here, we'll find out. Though I don't get why they could not do silver on these when they're quite clearly silver on the card art, and yet do a pretty poor silver on this Jackson. At least it's silver, that's the main thing. But yeah, it's already fucking chipping away. Honestly, flaking off. But yeah, not a big fan of the lack of silver. But if I just part them up, Cruise is okay to me. So yeah, I'm just parking things back up. Right, let's get on to the release that people actually care about. And I've got 5 minutes left for this video. So, Race and Rescue, Luigi and Guido. Obviously very small little lads, but they pack a punch indeed. For me, so far, this is the base. This is the base. This is the best Race and Rescue release. I really do like these guys a lot. We'll go over Luigi first. It's just a repaint of the Cars 3 one that had the flag. I don't mind the flag on this. I know a lot of people complain about it. I think the problem has been is they've not painted this silver when they've painted all the other ones, and that's why it just looks kind of like goofy. People are like, oh, it looks so low down compared to the card art. It's like, that's because he's flailing it up. If he's just sitting there static, I don't really get the complaints. Like, to me, that looks natural and how it would actually sit. But just comparing them to his regular Thailand release, it's just the same thing, apart from someone's fucking skateboard going past outside. Sounds like a skateboard to me anyway. It's really just the same thing, other than they've added red accents, which I think looks really good. Really good, because red's my favourite colour, so I'm going to love it anyway. They even put Race and Rescue on the back heel, which people say that looks goofy. I think it looks fine, to be honest. Expressions are obviously different. And really, the only other big major change as well, they've gone from a sort of silver to grey, unfortunately. And the windows are actually much better done, I think, on this version. Because here, they're just all yellow, there's nothing highlighted. Whereas this, they've made them grey and black. So I think that's really well done, in my opinion. But yeah, I really do like this guy a lot. He is very cool. But, of course, the main meat and potatoes that people love is this tiny little guy, Guido. And I love how we can now finally do what we've seen on the toy, the big plastic red, is you can stick Guido on top of there. And that just looks so fucking cool. And that's probably how I'll be displaying one. And as I said, I do want a few of these. I know it doesn't really make any sense, but I just want a wee army of like Guido firemen. So Guido, yeah, as the fireman hat, obviously makes him. It's just fantastic. This and such a good idea and very very well executed. I do like Mater a lot. He's probably still my favorite, but Guido and Luigi are just so close. I'm really happy with this release overall. Like I think these are just genuinely such good colourful diecasts, and I love again taking the regular Thailand Guido. You know, expressions changed as eyes are more lowered down and look a lot better in my opinion. And they've also replaced all the green with the yellow and the red. And he's even got his own version of the badge, which doesn't have any race and rescue text on it. And they've even highlighted his little light, I think it's a light red. And they don't tend to paint that as well, so well done to them. And yeah, no date stamp because he's too small. And I love the black forklifts as well. It's something we never tend to get. So, but I do love this guy a lot. He's had so much praise over these last few weeks, and rightly so. He is fantastic. I mean, I've got a couple of little Luigi's. I've got a few Guidos here. Just a wee small army, and many to be added today. There you go. Got 2 more fireman ones to collect today. But yeah, just that's your regular Thailand one. That's obviously your crew chief, your pit crew one, which is quite a bit different to him. And you've even got your classic ones. This is an original 2006 Thailand one. This right here. This says it's from 2014, so probably just one of the basic Radiator Springs lines that were coming out at the time. It does say Thailand just underneath there. This does have a date stamp. I was a bit shocked at that because Guido really has a date stamp, but it's 0844, which is the 844th. No, sorry. The 84th day of 2014. I knew I wasn't reading that right. They're quite a bit different, these. This has flat eyelids. These ones are more raised. The eyes are a little different as well. Even the green changed over time. Yeah. They done the silver a lot better as well. Yeah, I know. I'm just comparing like these two Guidos. Honestly, the older one was much more glossy as well. Yeah, it's interesting comparing these. I just got this yesterday in just a random petty lot. It's not even the main reason why I bought the bundle. Yeah, but you know, variants are variants, and then probably the most definitive Guido in terms of basic ones, I'd say for people is the Thailand one. You know, really well done. Just a really nice upgrade to that original, which I dropped. Oh. Just checking it as the original, yeah. But yeah, just a really nice upgrade to that original one. Not really changed at all, other than colours and the eyeliner. The windows are a lot darker now as well. Yeah. There you go, the little army of Guido, and then Luigi. I get this is all I really have to compare at the moment, but you know, basic Thailand one. This, and then probably my favourite version is the Team 95 one. I love the side-eye expression. I think that's so good. You can imagine like sitting up and looking down, or just chatting to Guido via that. Like, I love his little fork lids are like, you know, like sprouted out in that. I think it's brilliant. Yeah. See, they painted everything here on the Cars 2 version, so I don't know why, considering these diecasts are like 10 years apart. Why did they just stop doing that? Is it more accurate? I don't think it is. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see it's back on the Race and Rescue version. Probably this one as well a lot because it gives me kind of cartoon vibes with the red and yellow. Yeah. Really well done. Anyway, that was my Case X highlights. I'm trying to make sure I grab all the right stuff here. Put these up in the back. There you go. Anyway, that is my video on the K6 highlights. Really good case, in my opinion. There are some really nice treasures in there, some really cool re-releases, and some brilliant new Talon variants. And it's Jonathan Gearson's second case of the year as well, and her last one, unfortunately. But really happy with this lot. Not so keen on Cruz, but I love Eugene a lot, and I think Guido's just to me, there's only one bad release, and it's Cruz. So yeah, thank you.